This girl prepared lunch for her husband every day. But the husband dumped all the food in the trash. If she hadn't witnessed it with her own eyes, she wouldn't have known how ridiculous her actions were. Actually, you don't need to prepare food for me every day. Eating at the hospital's canteen is also very convenient. You just like this, I feel a lot of pressure. Yes, I know. A girl who was too dreamy in love was very scary. No matter how frustrated she was, she didn't have the heart to ask the man to help her wash the dishes. But the things she silently sacrificed, in return, were just her husband's coldness. That night, Ning Ji-Qian's ex-girlfriend sent a message to him. Ruan Lu Jung picked up the phone and took a look. But while turning around, she accidentally dropped the phone. The message was also accidentally deleted. The next day, Ruan Lu Jung took the initiative to tell her husband the truth. She kept apologizing to Ning Ji-Qian. On the surface, he didn't seem to have any problems. But he silently changed his phone password. That day he couldn't concentrate to work. Like waiting for the phone to ring again. Do you like her as much as you like Meow Meow? Love can be fostered slowly. Most importantly, my mom likes her. She told me she didn't want me to miss a good girl like her. Now he didn't know if he was familiar with Ruan Lu Jung or liked her. Ruan Lu Jung was not angry with Ning Ji-Qian's actions. She still prepared for him 3 meals a day. But when she got home, Ning Ji-Qian didn't mind her efforts. He just said he was tired and went back to his room. When Ruan Lu Jung brought him a bowl of chicken soup. But Ning Ji-Qian was already asleep. He just left her a cold back. From that day on, their relationship became more and more distant. Ning Ji-Qian's coldness left Ruan Lu Jung at a loss for what to do. She sat in the bedroom restlessly. The atmosphere was so quiet that it made people feel stuffy. When she saw Ning Ji-Qian was asleep, she covered him with a blanket. When Ruan Lu Jung left, Ning Ji-Qian opened his eyes quietly. In fact, he didn't sleep. He just didn't want to share a bed with her. Such days made Ruan Lu Jung despair. She didn't understand why Ning Ji-Qian treated her like this. Her best friend advised her not to put too much pressure on him. Recently, the hospital sent him to participate in the selection of excellent surgeons. Her best friend's words made Ruan Lu Jung feel disappointed. He had never told her anything about his hospital. She was his wife, but when her best friend told her, she knew about it. It rained that night. But Ning Ji-Qian kept sitting in the car and refused to come home. Ruan Lu Jung caught him outside. This time her spirit finally exploded. They lived together for such a long time. But it seemed that he has never confided in her sincere words. I thought I know you very well. But I found out that's not the case. I don't have anything to confide in, you don't have any bad points. Sometimes I really want you to argue with me. But you don't even bother arguing with me. Why do I arguing with you? In Ruan Lu Jung's perception, having a husband means having the whole world. She never thought that her efforts would make Ning Ji-Qian feel such pressure. On the first day of returning to her mother's house, Ruan Lu Jung suddenly vomited. She checked her period day. She discovered she seemed to be pregnant. Ning Ji-Qian didn't have lunch prepared by Ruan Lu Jung. He didn't have a good appetite. The nagging voices telling him to eat more were also constantly ringing in his ears. At this time, Ning Ji-Qian realized that he soon got used to the existence of Ruan Lu Jung. Ruan Lu Jung laid drowsily on the bed. Her mother comforted her, but she didn't care at all. But when she saw Ning Ji-Qian smile, she was very happy. Unexpectedly, his only apology made her follow him home obediently. I bought movie tickets. If you don't want to go, let's go home. Go, let's go. It was undeniable that Ruan Lu Jung was infatuated with this love. She loved him unlimitedly. While watching the movie, Ruan Lu Jung rubs her stomach gingerly. She wanted to take this opportunity to surprise Ning Ji-Qian. But he was afraid to disturb others, so he told her to keep silent. Looks like I'm pregnant. Then how can you take the master's exam? We have a baby, aren't you happy? Of course I'm happy. But it is too sudden. Ruan Lu Jung decided to put aside the master's exam. Her immediate important task was to take care of the baby. Unexpectedly, when they just got home, Ruan Lu Jung detected an abnormal situation. Her stomach hurt so bad. She said she had her period. This news made Min Tri speechless. He didn't know whether to be happy or sad. He didn't care about Ruan Lu Jung's health at all. He only thought about going abroad for intensive training. Going to the US to train is a very rare opportunity. That night Ning Ji-Qian couldn't sleep. Ruan Lu Jung wanted to ask if he's under too much pressure. If he has something to say, feel free to share it with her. But Ning Ji-Qian still did not say anything. Ruan Lu Jung had to go back to her room. She kept turning her head to look at him. She seemed to realize this would be their last night together. The next day, Ruan Lu Jung just woke up. There was no sign of Ning Ji Qian next to her. She called him on the phone. Only then did she know that he was on his way abroad to train. In the days that followed, Ruan Lu Jung could only watch the footage of their wedding day to pass the time. She tried to send messages to Ning Ji Qian several times. But she was afraid to disturb him studying. 10 months have passed. The day was coming to welcome Ning Ji Qian back home. That day, Ruan Lu Jung suddenly felt pain in her whole body. After the examination, she discovered that she had acute appendicitis. What's wrong with you? You're awesome. You dare to go to the hospital alone to do surgery. That day I saw people said that going to surgery alone is the highest level of loneliness. I didn't expect this to happen to me. This sentence made everyone feel sad. That night, watching the patient in the room being taken care of, she couldn't help calling Ning Ji Qian. But when the phone rang, she swallowed the guilt because she didn't want to worry him. When she had just recovered, Ruan Lu Jung immediately bought a plane ticket to go abroad. But when she was about to tell him this news, he kept stopping her. He advised her to stay at home to study for the master's exam. But Ruan Lu Jung still wanted to surprise him. But she saw a scene that made her heartbroken. Ruan Lu Jung went abroad alone. As soon as she got off the plane, she called Ning Ji Qian. Are you busy today? I'm waiting for the test results. After having the results, it may take a few days to be busy. Yeah, actually. Hello. The signal was not stable, so the two of them lost contact. When Ning Ji Qian was not understanding what was happening, people suddenly announced that his experiment was successful. Everyone decided to go celebrate. When Ruan Lu Jung arrived with a bouquet of flowers, she saw the scene of Ning Ji Qian having fun with his friends. That smile was something she aspired to but never had. She thought that he lived here under a lot of pressure, so he was so cold to her. But he also has such a lively side. At this point, Ruan Lu Jung understood that all she sacrificed could not touch him. This was unbalanced love. The result was too much pressure on one side. The other side held too much hope and then left quietly. Sitting in a taxi, Ruan Lu Jung cried and sent a text message asking for a divorce. But she didn't dare to click send message. Ning Ji Qian has just returned to the research department. He received a phone call from Ruan Lu Jung's best friend. She asked if he had met Ruan Lu Jung. Only now did Ning Ji Qian recall the scene this afternoon. The person holding that bouquet turned out to be his wife. By the time he ran out, the bouquet was lying in the trash can. Wish my husband a good job, welcome home. Ruan Lu Jung sat on the plane. She was still waiting for Ning Ji Qian to appear. She waited for him to call her. But all of that was her imagination. Ning Ji Qian still didn't show up. A few days later, Ruan Lu Jung took the initiative to pick Ning Ji Qian back home. When they met again, she said, "Let's go to the Civil Service Bureau." "What do you mean?" "To do divorce proceedings. I brought all my stuff with me. I hope in the future you will meet someone who loves you as much as I love you."